The chemistry of my birth year, 93, and the atomic number intrigues me. Just playing with the thought, I hold a crystal ball in the sunlight, watching how it reflects the rays at one angle, and then pivots, showing another perspective. Such moments spark my imagination about the narratives we have concerning the sun and the moon. He said, "Let there be light." And there was. The question arises, do you perceive separation from everything around you? Remember, the gardener plants their seed with intention, understanding that the time between planting and the seed breaking through the surface is not rejection. Don't stop nurturing your plant, and have faith for us both. Phi is the 21st letter of the Greek alphabet, representing the PH sound in ancient Greek. This sound evolved to F by the 1st century AD, and in modern Greek, it denotes the F sound. In Greek numerals, it has a value of 500. The communication of protected health information, Phi, within and outside UNC Health, is critical for the ongoing operations of our healthcare system. PHINVADS serves as a web-based enterprise for accessing and distributing vocabularies used in public health and clinical practice. Considering alternatives, the closest to a Fin is a French press. While the method differs, the resulting brew is reminiscent. Let's bridge the mirrored meanings of Phi and Fin, melding these thoughts into the marine realm. Words like Adolf and dolphin intrigue me. More like a Dow. I find it curious that Fin doesn't signify an ending. The lingering impact of trauma on a child striving to navigate a harsh environment cannot be overstated. It is imperative that we translate our aspirations for a better reality into tangible action. I wish to leverage the darker aspects of my narrative as a beacon for children who lack a voice, or who may be undergoing even more severe Disneyfication, the commercial transformation of various elements, including entertainment and environments, into simplified, controlled, and safe forms reminiscent of the Walt Disney brand, encompassing its media, theme parks, and beyond. Process of stripping a genuine place or manner, where references to negative or inconvenient aspects are excised, and the facts are simplified to render the subject more palatable and comprehensible. In the context of physical lock theme parks, predicated on the rapid globalization and consumerism characteristic of Western societies, the term Disneyfication is often used pejoratively to imply the social and cultural homogenization of various elements. In essence, to Disneyfy signifies the transformation of an object into something superficial and simplistic. Additionally, the term may be employed to describe the internationalization of American math. We are fortunate to inhabit Earth during an era often referred to as the knowledge explosion. Prior to the period known as the Dark Ages, the expansion of our collective knowledge progressed at an exceedingly slow rate. It took approximately 1 millennium for the accumulation of knowledge to double even once. During the Dark Ages, advancements were largely stagnant. However, beginning in the 15th century, the pace of knowledge accumulation accelerated, doubling every 500 years, then 100 years, subsequently every 50 years, and eventually every 10 years, and so forth at an increasingly rapid rate. Recent analyses indicate that our knowledge is currently doubling at an interval of approximately 18 months, with this rate continuing to increase significantly. This remarkable expansion of knowledge provides us with a vast reservoir of information. If we fail to apply this knowledge to our fundamental understanding of life itself, we risk, metaphorically speaking, missing the opportunity, much like the foolish virgins in the parable that illustrates such a concept. Consequently, it is prudent to scrutinize all human-conceived theories and assess their relevance in relation to our evolving circumstances and the undeniable truths. Life on Earth is interconnected with life in the universe, and the cyclical changes of grand celestial systems exert a direct influence on terrestrial affairs. Emma skipped her meds in this episode of Law and More. Celia Widake, an associate solicitor at IBB Law's education team, explains the scope and importance of education law, which encompasses legal matters related to both students and educators. She outlines the diverse cases handled by her team, from preschool issues to higher education disputes, emphasizing their focus on individuals rather than institutions like schools or universities. Wittig also highlights the common themes in education law, such as discrimination, human rights, and public law principles, while stressing the significance of specialized legal advice in navigating these complex matters. The video serves as an introductory guide to education law, aiming to inform potential clients and professionals in the field. Importance of legal clarity. Laws highlight not only rights and freedoms, but also outlines of prohibited actions to ensure societal order. Exam questions. The lesson includes 2 exam questions focusing on defining law and discussing its characteristics. Key insights. Understanding law. The definition of law is broader than just legal codes. It encompasses customs and community practices that shape societal norms, indicating that cultural context plays a substantial role in legal interpretations. Role of customs. Customs serve as a foundation for laws. Their natural evolution into legally binding laws showcases the interplay between societal norms and formal legal structures, making the understanding of cultural customs essential for law comprehension. Legal compliance. The emphasis on enforcement highlights the necessity for individuals to adhere to the law. Noncompliance leads to punishments, indicating that knowledge of the law directly affects personal and communal behavior in society. Creation and maintenance of law. The state's role in lawmaking underscores the fact that laws are not static. They evolve through legislative processes, making continual education on legal changes vital for citizens. In the video tutorial on commercial law, the presenter introduces the definition of law and its key characteristics. This remarkable expansion of knowledge provides us with a vast reservoir of information. If we fail to apply this knowledge to our fundamental understanding of life itself, we risk, metaphorically speaking, missing the opportunity, much like the foolish virgins in the parable that illustrates such a concept. Consequently, it is prudent to scrutinize all human-conceived theories and assess their relevance in relation to our evolving circumstances and the undeniable truths. Life on Earth is interconnected with life in the universe, and the cyclical changes of grand celestial systems exert a direct influence on terrestrial affairs. Emma skipped her meds. I remember it like it was yesterday. My friend, let's call her Emma, looked more than just tired, she looked haunted. When I gently pressed, she confessed. She'd been skipping her thyroid medication, not forgetting, no, that $37 copay, the one that kept her thyroid in check, was the same $37 her son desperately needed for new school shoes. The way her hands shook slightly as she told me, as if counting out phantom coins she couldn't afford. It was a gut punch. Here was someone I loved, forced into an impossible choice, her own health or her child's basic needs. It hit me hard. We're bombarded with advice on diets, exercise, sleep. But when do we ever talk about the crushing weight of money? And trust me, it's a big, unhealthy elephant in the room. Here's a shocker for you. A staggering 72% of Americans who feel stressed blame money. And it's not just in their heads. Their bodies are paying a brutal price. That conversation with Emma sent me down a rabbit hole. I started digging, and what I uncovered is something most doctors won't bring up in your annual checkup. But it's a secret that could literally save your life. What's really happening inside you? It's tempting to think of stress as just a mental game, right? But financial stress, that constant, gnawing worry about bills and debt, is a physical menace right now. Your cortisol might be spiking from that unpaid bill you're avoiding. Here's how to understand what's happening and start to stop the damage. The cortisol flood. When you're constantly worried about making ends meet, your body is flooded with cortisol. This is the stress hormone. A little bit helps in a pinch, like getting you out of danger. But imagine leaving your car engine running 24/7. Eventually, it's going to break down. That's what chronic financial stress does to you. I remember my own doctor looking at my labs during a rough patch and saying, "Your stress belly is literally killing you." He wasn't wrong. From stress to sickness, this nonstop cortisol bath triggers inflammation, a key culprit behind so many chronic diseases. We're talking about that stubborn weight gain, especially around your middle. We're talking about heart disease. In fact, according to the American Psychological Association, high debt increases heart attack risk by 20%. That's not a small number. That's a serious, life-altering risk tied directly to your bank account. The sleep money paradox. And then there's sleep, or the lack of it. How many nights have you stared at the ceiling, your mind racing with financial what-ifs? I know I've lost count. This lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired. It wreaks havoc on your metabolism, weakens your immune system, and tanks your mood. It's a vicious cycle, this silent killer in your wallet.